Picture a tranquil evening in the heart of northern Vietnam. The sun has dipped below the horizon, leaving a trail of bruised purple and soft orange across the sky. You are standing on the edge of an ancient village pond, where the air is thick with the scent of damp earth, blooming jasmine, and the lingering smoke from a nearby kitchen fire. The water's surface is a dark, glassy mirror, broken only by the occasional ripple of a fish breaking the surface or a falling leaf. Suddenly, the heavy silence is shattered by the rhythmic, sharp crack of a wooden drum. Tung, tung, tung. A cloud of mysterious white mist begins to roll across the emerald water, and from behind a vibrant, ornate split bamboo curtain, life begins to emerge. But look closely. These figures are not coming from the wings of a stage. They are rising from the water's murky depths. Brightly painted wooden figures leap into the air, dancing across the liquid stage with a grace that defies their solid weight. They don't just move, they glide, they splash, they breathe fire, and they tell stories that have been whispered in these rice paddies for over 1,000 years. This isn't just a performance, it is a miracle born from mud and water. Have you ever wondered how a simple farming community turned their flooded fields into a world of magic and myth? Today, we aren't just watching a show. We are diving deep into the soul of Vietnam. Welcome to Culture Journey. Our voyage today takes us to the verdant, labyrinthine landscapes of the Red River Delta in northern Vietnam. This is the cradle of an art form nowhere else on this planet, Mua Roi Nuc, or water puppetry. Born in the 11th century during the Lý Dynasty, this art form didn't originate in the gilded halls of royal courts or grand urban theaters. Instead, it was born in the humble, waterlogged rice paddies of Vietnamese peasants. For the people of this region, water was, and still is, the absolute essence of existence. It provided their daily rice, dictated their seasons, and occasionally, through devastating floods, tested their sheer resilience. Water puppetry was their creative, defiant response to the environment, a way to find joy, laughter, and community amidst the back-breaking labor of wet rice farming. When the harvest was over and the village festivals began, the farmers would build temporary stages in the middle of ponds, using the water as a natural, shimmering floor. Today, water puppetry has evolved from a village pastime into a national treasure, serving as a bridge between the buzzing modernity of Hanoi and the ancient of Hanoi to the ancient rhythmic pulse of the countryside. But what secrets lie beneath those murky green waters? How do these wooden dolls breathe life into legends? Let's pull back the bamboo curtain and discover the hidden world of Vietnam's water puppets. To truly understand the DNA of water puppetry, we must look at the unique geography of northern Vietnam. The Red River Delta is a low-lying, vast region, historically prone to unpredictable seasonal flooding. In the old days, when the monsoon rains came and the fields were submerged, all agricultural work would grind to a halt. For many, this would be a time of despair. But the Vietnamese spirit is one that finds opportunity in adversity. Instead of seeing the floods as a disaster, the farmers saw a stage. They began carving figures from the wood of the fig tree, known locally as go sung. This choice of material was not accidental. Fig wood is incredibly light, naturally buoyant, and possesses a unique resistance to water rot, essential for a puppet that spends hours submerged. These early puppets were simple, rugged, and charmingly folk-like. They didn't depict gods or kings initially, but rather the daily lives of the farmers themselves. They showed scenes of buffalo herding, fishing, and the delicate art of rice planting. It was theater for the people, by the people. Over time, these village performances grew in complexity and artistry, eventually catching the eye of the emperors. By the 12th century, historical inscriptions on ancient stone stills mention grand water puppet shows being performed to celebrate the king's longevity and military victories. It transitioned from a muddy field to a royal spectacle, yet it never lost its earthy, peasant soul. Have you ever noticed how the most profound art often emerges from the simplest, humblest beginnings? If you were a farmer 1,000 years ago, standing knee-deep in a flooded field, would you have seen a problem to be solved, or would you have seen a playground for your imagination? One of the most frequent questions from travelers witnessing a show for the first time is a stunned, "How on earth do they do that?" The puppets seem to move with an independent will, spinning, passing objects to one another, shooting arrows, and even breathing real fire, or squirting jets of water at the audience. The secret to this magic lies behind the buong tra, or the puppet house. This is the ornate temple-like structure that stands in the middle of the pond, decorated with bright flags and traditional carvings. Behind a heavy screen of split bamboo, the puppeteers stand waist-deep, and sometimes chest-deep, in water, for the entire duration of the performance. They are the invisible maestros of this liquid world, using a complex, hidden system of underwater poles, long strings, and intricate pulleys made of durable rattan. They control the puppets from several meters away. It is an incredibly grueling physical task. The water is often cold, and some of the larger puppets can weigh up to 15 kilograms. To maneuver these heavy wooden figures with such delicacy, making a puppet climb a tree or dance a complex traditional folk dance, requires years of disciplined training and incredible core strength. Interestingly, in the past, the technical secrets of how the poles and strings worked were guarded with extreme secrecy. Puppetry guilds were like secret societies. Members took solemn oaths never to reveal the mechanisms to outsiders. They even forbade their own daughters from learning the craft, for fear that once they married and left the village, they would take the guild's secrets to their husbands' families. It was a craft protected by blood and tradition. Did you know that the puppeteers often drink fermented fish sauce or concentrated ginger water before stepping into the pond? It's an old practical tradition believed to increase internal body heat, helping them endure the cold water for hours on end. Every water puppet show begins with the appearance of a very special, beloved character. Uncle Tễu. With a plump, rosy belly, a constant mischievous grin, and wearing nothing but a simple loincloth, Tễu is the MC and the moral compass of the water world. His name literally translates to laughter or joy. Tễu is an honest, witty, and sometimes cynical character who represents the voice of the common man. He comes out first to introduce the program, poke fun at social injustices, or gently mock the village officials. He is the bridge between the audience and the mythic world. When Tễu laughs, the whole pond laughs with him. The stories Tễu introduces are a vibrant mix of the everyday and the extraordinary. You will see scenes like The Fox Catching the Duck, which depicts a frustrated farmer trying to protect his livestock from a sneaky predator, a scene full of slapstick humor, frantic splashing, and clever puppetry. But you will also witness the majestic dance of the four holy animals: the dragon, the unicorn, the tortoise, and the phoenix. These mythical creatures swirl and dive through the water, occasionally spitting sparks of fire that hiss as they hit the surface. Perhaps the most iconic story is the legend of the restored sword. It tells the tale of King Lê Lợi, who received a magical sword from a golden turtle god to drive out foreign invaders. After the victory, while the king was boating on a serene lake in Hanoi, the golden turtle surfaced to reclaim the sword. This lake is now the world-famous Hoàn Kiếm Lake, the emotional heart of Hanoi. Seeing this legend performed on water, with a wooden turtle emerging from the depths to take a sword from a wooden king, is a moment where the lines between history, myth, and reality completely blur. If you could have a golden turtle moment in your own life, where a mystery of the past comes back to claim something you've used for your success, what would that item be? What story from your own heritage feels like it truly belongs on a stage of water? A water puppet show would be silent and lifeless without its heartbeat, the music. To the side of the water stage, often on a raised platform, sits an orchestra of traditional musicians and singers. They play cheo, a form of Vietnamese satirical musical theater that perfectly complements the puppets' movements. The instruments are as fascinating and ancient as the puppets themselves. There is the dan bo, a miraculous one-stringed zither that produces a haunting, soulful sound that many listeners say perfectly mimics the nuances of the human voice. There are wooden bells, bronze gongs, and the lively, bright tones of the dan guit, the moon-shaped lute. Crucially, the singers don't just provide background music. They are active participants in the drama. They interact directly with the puppets. They shout warnings to the farmer when the fox is creeping near his ducks, or they cheer and sing praises for the king. This constant, lively dialogue between the visible musicians and the hidden puppeteers creates a live, breathing energy. It's a multisensory experience where sound and sight are inextricably linked. Today, this ancient art form faces a complex crossroads. In a globalized world dominated by CGI, 4K cinema, and instant digital entertainment, why does a wooden doll on a stick still matter? In the heart of Hanoi, theaters like the Thung Long Water Puppet Theater are packed every single night, mostly with international travelers eager to catch a glimpse of this magic on water. But the real, raw magic still resides in the village festivals. Young artisans are now experimenting, bringing modern stories, contemporary music, and even global themes to the water stage, while veteran masters fight to preserve the ancient, secret techniques of their ancestors. The art has traveled far from its muddy pond origins, gracing world-class stages in Paris, New York, London, and Tokyo. Water puppetry has become a profound symbol of Vietnamese identity, a beautiful, splashing reminder that even when life is flooded or difficult, there is always room for a dance, a song, and a bit of defiant laughter. It is the story of a people who refused to let the water drown their spirits, and instead taught the water how to tell stories. Do you believe traditional arts like this can truly thrive in the digital age, or are they destined to become museum pieces? What do you think makes a modern traveler choose a wooden puppet show over a high-tech movie? Perhaps it's that raw human connection, the knowledge that someone is standing in cold water just to make you smile. As the final ripples settle on the pond and the musicians play their last fading notes, the bamboo curtain parts one last time. The puppeteers, who have been hidden for the past hour, finally emerge. They are usually drenched to the bone, shivering slightly from the cold, but wearing wide, genuine smiles as they bow to the audience. In this poignant moment, the illusion is broken, but the magic remains. You see the human hands behind the myth. Water puppetry is far more than just a clever performance. It is a testament to the Vietnamese spirit of vượt khó, overcoming hardship through creativity. It is an art form that rose from the literal mud of the earth, was nurtured by the monsoon rains, and has been polished by the calloused hands of countless generations. It reminds us that our environment, no matter how challenging or waterlogged, can be our greatest stage if we have the imagination to see it. Our journey through the emerald waters of Vietnam ends here today, but the stories of the Red River Delta continue to flow. We leave with the image of Uncle Tễu's mischievous grin and the haunting, lonely melody of the monochord echoing in our minds. Each culture we visit on this channel is a mirror, reflecting a different way of being human, and Vietnam's water puppets reflect a soul that is resilient, humorous, and deeply connected to the rhythm of the earth. The journey of discovery is never ending. It just moves to a different beat, in a different land. If you found yourself enchanted by the dancing puppets and the ancient legends of Vietnam today, we would love to hear your thoughts. If you were to visit Hanoi, which part of the performance would you want to see in person? The fire-breathing dragons, the graceful four holy animals, or the mischievous Uncle Tễu? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this cultural voyage, please give this video a like. It truly helps us bring more stories like this to life. And if you haven't joined our community yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to travel with Culture Journey on our next adventure. Thank you for being part of our global exploration. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.